friends! Today I'm going to be showing you how I go about menu planning. We'll do a grocery haul based on my list, produce prep, and then cook 4 of those meals together. The recipes and timestamps will be in the description box along with links related to content or videos you may enjoy as well. If you're new here, my name is Lizzie Reyes. I'm a mom of 7 kids and 2 golden doodle dogs and a full-time homemaker. I love all things cooking, cleaning, organizing, and especially decorating. If that's your kind of content, I would love it if you subscribed and connected with us in the comments. Now, let's get started with our menu plan. To do so, I like to set myself up for success and a clear mind. So I will clean my kitchen. I will kind of sort through my refrigerator as I am taking inventory. I like to light a candle. I like to have a drink that I enjoy. And let's be honest, this pad of paper that helps me write down my grocery list, and it helps keep my menu for the week, and it's pretty, and so I like to have those things. It encourages me to get this done because it does take a little bit of effort and time. So I will go through my refrigerators, I will go through my freezers, and I will look at my countertops to see what fruit I might need or fruit that needs to be used, and I will also go through my pantry and sometimes even my cold storage if I feel like I've noticed that I haven't been going down there and using some of the things. So I will take note of all these things on a pad of paper, and then I will sometimes separate them by my list of refrigerator items, my freezer items, and my counter or pantry items. And I don't know why, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but that's the way I like to do it. Then I will take a look at my week ahead and see if there's an especially busy night or especially busy day where maybe I would like to do a crock pot meal because I don't have time leading up to dinner time to make that happen. So these are all things I take into consideration. And I will also look at the forecast or the weather for the week ahead. I don't want to be cooking up a storm if it's going to be extra hot one day, or if it's going to be a little chilly or rainy, then I will try to plan something that feels like a little more like comfort food, maybe like a soup or a stew, something along those lines. So these are the things that I take into consideration. Then I will take that list of ingredients that I need to use up, and I will start to brainstorm different ideas of meals that I can make with those ingredients. Some people like to use the All Recipes app and put in ingredients to get ideas. I don't necessarily need to do that. I have a lot of recipes or ideas in my repertoire that my kids like and my husband likes. And I will also get some inspiration from Pinterest. I have a few recipes that I have saved or ideas that I have saved. And so I will just kind of use these as reference. As I'm brainstorming ideas of things to make and put on my menu for the week, I will also take note of any ingredients I don't have on hand that I will need to get while I'm at the grocery store. And then once I get all my brainstorming done, then I will start to plug in those meal ideas for different days of the week, depending on how well they'll work based on the weather and based on activities and different things going on during the week. Here's an overview of my menu and my grocery list. I'll then sometimes just mark and make it really clear for myself what I'm getting at Costco, what I'm getting at either Walmart or a local grocery store around here called Harmon's. Right now I'm going to be placing my Walmart order so that I don't have to do that extra trip. And then I will show you my grocery haul for the week next. Here's an overview of the Costco trip that I just got back from. These groceries will be going with the menu plan that I made for the week, and then a little bit extra. There's always fun things to get at Costco, right? And they have lots of deals, and so I'm gonna give you a quick overview, kind of show you what I got. We go through tomatoes in our house really fast, especially lately. I got a thing of white peaches, lemons for the upcoming cold and flu season, limes, we use lots of limes, cucumbers, we'll be doing some produce prep. I have this box of milk, and I have a box of whole milk. I have this deli meat for sandwiches, more, we call them tiny tomatoes in our house. We like to eat those just as a snack, and we also like to, I have a meal planned on my menu for this week where I'm going to be using a bunch of those. I have snacking mozzarella cheese, a new fresh bag of garlic. My garlic is getting a little sad. I normally use most of like a big bag before it goes bad, but with having the baby, I just didn't cook for about a month and a half to 2 months, and so it just didn't get used like it should have. I have fresh blueberries. If you've never tried golden kiwis, let me tell you, you're missing out, especially if you like kiwis, and especially if you don't like kiwis. These are always sweet, they're always tender. I don't think I've ever had a bad one unless it's actually overripe, so just saying. And then Costco has them on sale this month because they are a little pricey. I got 2 packages of strawberries. I got some mozzarella cheese. We like to have this on hand as well for quick lunches, for caprese salads. My family really likes that. I'm going to be making a recipe that I made up this week. I made it up probably like 4 years ago, and it includes Brussels sprouts, and my kids absolutely love that, so we're going to do that. They had more kids protein, which they hadn't had for a couple weeks, so I picked up one of those. And I'm going to try this caramel protein. We always have chocolate protein. And then you can kind of see we have a case of Red Bull. This milk right here is for school lunches when I pack them. We ran out of oatmeal. I have 2 blocks of cheddar cheese. I don't like to run out of things, so I will be storing one of those in my other fridge. These are like the yummiest snack. If you like crunchy snacks but are trying to quit the chips, then I suggest these. All of us have our different favorites, but overall, like, I wouldn't be sad with any of these flavors. They're really good. Let's see here. We have avocados, bananas. They happen to have some apricot jam, and so I got some of that. We haven't had apricot in a long time. This salsa or marinara sauce was on sale this month at Costco, and I am getting low, so I'm going to be building my stock back up of those. I got some salami again to go with the mozzarella and caprese salads. We like to add salami. And then we have a little bit more eggs. I am going to be doing more eggs this week. I like to have these as a treat for especially my bigger kids. They really do taste like a treat. They don't taste like a protein bar if you've never tried these. I really highly recommend them if you like puffy, chewy candy with chocolate. My kids genuinely will ask for this over other things in the special treat box. So just saying. I got these for just in case in a pinch. We seem to be having a lot of pinch situations with baby in the hospital, so we got some more bread and bagels, and then I picked up this container. We'll see how that goes. It's supposed to be able to hold like a chicken or something larger like that. Over here I have all the meat that I bought this week. I got some mild Italian sausage at Costco. It's a decent price and a decent flavor. And then I got chicken thighs, chicken breast, this blanket. I thought it was really pretty. It's a waffle throw. So I'm going to be putting this either in my bedroom or in the living room, but we'll see. They had it in gray and they had it in beige, and I just decided to opt for white. Not really sure why, but I thought it was really pretty. All of them were really nice, and I think this was only $10. So yeah. And then another box of milk, and then I bought a runner rug and a box of kettle chips. So yeah, here's just kind of an overview. And we will be prepping veggies and getting all of our produce washed and ready to be eaten. So while we're busy putting away groceries and washing produce, I want to chat with you about some upcoming videos that I have planned in the future. I am really looking forward to decorating for Halloween. I do decorate on the inside, and I am trying to get together some things for a tablescape for Halloween. We do decorate mostly on the outside, or at least just as much on the outside, if not more. We like to have family and friends over on Halloween night, and the kids go trick-or-treating, and then we will sit outside with our outdoor heater and a big cauldron full of candy and just eat a bunch of yummy food, some comfort food, and just enjoy the trick-or-treaters. We get a ton of trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood, and we have a lot of neighbors that will sit out and pass out candy. So it just makes it really fun. It's really social. And I do have a video that I will be sharing with you on what I choose to make for Halloween night. I usually will do some sort of like chicken salad sandwiches, or my mother-in-law will bring them, and we'll do chicken soup, some homemade chicken soup. This year I think we might do soup and chili with maybe some rolls or cornbread or chips or something on the side. Something that's really easy to make and really gets you warm in your tummy and is a comfort food. And then I will do a few treats that are Halloween themed, and it's just going to be a really fun night, and I want to share all those things with you. So make sure you're subscribed. And then we are going to do some Halloween clean with me. I have a lunch video coming up next, and it's going to be showing you how I do 5 different lunches for my kids. So when they go off to school, these are the things that I will do. And then shortly after that, we are going to do a Halloween undecorate with me, where we're going to be putting away all of our Halloween decorations and transitioning back into fall for a little while. And then I will do a video just decorating my Christmas tree. I like to get that up before Thanksgiving. It really just depends on my baby that's in the NICU and whether he's home or if he's still in the hospital. We just don't know. And so we'll be playing it by ear, but that is the plan. And then right after Thanksgiving, or maybe even right before Thanksgiving, I just don't know yet, I am going to be setting up Christmas. And there will be lots of decorating videos there. Many parts to it, and so I'm really looking forward to the holiday season, having some time off with my kids, having them home for a little while. We do a hunting season long weekend here in Utah, and so they will be off for a few days in October and a few days in November, and then a couple weeks in December. And I'm just really looking forward to getting my house ready, getting traditional activities and decor ready. I just get so excited. Traditions are like one of my most favorite things in life and in raising a family. I'm also wondering if any of you would be interested in talking babies or postpartum or C-section care postpartum, NICU, anything along those lines, needing or not needing certain gear or how to prepare for a new baby to come home, I would love to chat babies. I just love them so much. They're just so sweet and fresh and innocent and straight from heaven, and I just love it so much. So if that interests you, I would love to hear it down in the comments. Otherwise, we will wrap up getting all of our produce ready and prepared and move on to cooking. The first recipe we'll be working on for the week is sausage pasta and broccoli. This is a meal that I have been cooking for 18 years. It's one of the recipes I mastered really early on as a newlywed, and it's been a family favorite ever since. It's not hard to make. It's just you cook it in parts and then mix it together all at the end. I do want to say this grassa oil, extra virgin olive oil, is so primo. I highly recommend it. It smells so delicious. If you smell it, it doesn't just smell like your typical EVOO. It has like a fruity note to it. It's so good. Like, it's good to cook with. I believe it's the first press of the olive oils, and it's a cold press, and so it's the best one. It is so delicious, and I have fully switched over to using this over the one I was buying before, but I highly recommend it. So you're going to heat up some oil in a pan, and then you're going to cut into the lining of your Italian sausage. You're going to place them into a pan that's set to medium heat, and then I will use a potato masher and start to break it up. I also have cut up about 3 crowns of broccoli, and I cut them up into very, very bite-sized pieces. No large chunks in this recipe. And then I'm going to steam them until they are just tender and bright green. And here I am mashing it, getting it all broken up. And then I'm going to cook the pasta once the broccoli is pulled out. And then you're going to strain it, but before you dump all that good pasta water out, you're going to save some pasta water because it needs to be put back into it when you mix all of these things together. Then once your meat is browned and it's just about done, you're going to put in some fresh garlic, and you're going to put in some chili flakes, and you're going to just mix it in until it's fragrant. You don't want to burn the garlic, so it's literally like 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. And then you put in as many chili flakes as you would like. I put in some, enough for just a tiny kick, but not a huge kick. I mix it all together. I put in the pasta water and some salt and pepper and some fresh Parmesan cheese. I mix it all together, and it is so yum. My family is so excited every time I make this. If you do not like broccoli, I suggest trying this recipe because I've had people who don't like broccoli at all try this recipe and say they love it. So this is the finished product. It is so good. My house smells delicious. And if you would like to get the recipe, you can snag it down in the description box below. Next up, I'm going to show you how I make homemade chicken soup. I was taught how to make soup by my Peruvian mother-in-law, and Peruvians make it a little different than Americans or maybe Europeans make it. There aren't any onions that you cook in there. There's not as many herbs. I would say the only herb that's in there is cilantro. And then in their family, they do fresh ginger, which I think is just so yum. So this has a very savory flavor because there are no onions or garlic. But I really enjoy it cooked this way. So I cut up about 4 carrots, and I took the celery that I had washed previously and chopped that up. I probably did about 4 or 5 stalks. I don't really have a recipe. I have really learned to just kind of cook and do it as I go, and so I will try my best to turn this into a recipe if you guys are interested. And then I have previously put in some chicken thigh bones that I have saved from another recipe from when I deboned the chicken thighs. I saved them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer so that when I go to make soup like this, I put them into the soup to really give it that good bone broth flavor. So I'm going to finish cutting up the celery, and I've already skimmed off all of the foam that kind of rises to the top at the beginning when the chicken is starting to cook in the water. And then once that is done, I add the vegetables. This is pre-juiced ginger root, fresh ginger root, and that is what my in-laws do for their soup, and I think it's so good. I really think you should try it. If you don't want to juice your ginger, you can just do about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of fresh ginger that you have peeled and chopped into some big, large pieces. And then that way you can fish them out at the end of the cooking process so you don't get a big bite of ginger. While that is cooking in my enameled cast iron pot, I am in the meantime preparing the other things that will be added to the soup later. So I chopped up 3 large potatoes after I peeled them. And then I am dicing really small a bunch of green onions and about 1/2 to 1/3 a bunch of cilantro. I'm gonna dice that up as well. These are going to be toppings. The potatoes will go in with pasta at the end of the soup cooking right before we serve it. And it's just so good. I used some alphabet letter pasta that I'll show you later in just a bit. It's so fun. My whole family, it doesn't matter that I have teenagers all the way down to toddlers. Everyone loves the alphabet pasta. Just saying. And it's super cheap. And the size of the bag is like 7 ounces or something. And it works out just right for a pot of soup. Here's the pasta. I usually buy it at Walmart. I'll have it linked so that you can see. They also have like flowers or stars or something and some other little shapes. Now that the soup is ready, I'm going to turn up the heat and add in the potatoes. I've already picked out all of the bones and breasts that I have been cooking in the soup, and I put them on a plate to cool for just a few minutes so that I can go in and really pull off any extra meat off of the thigh bones and shred the breasts. And then I'm going to place them back into the soup once the potatoes and the pasta are cooked, and then I'm going to serve it up and I'm going to garnish it, and we add in the green onions, we add the fresh cilantro and a squeeze of lime and some ají, which I didn't show, but I also like to have some sort of either a homemade biscuit or a crusty bread, something like that on the side. I'm just garnishing it, and this is how it turns out in the end. Next, I'm going to be showing you how I cook another Peruvian recipe. It's called ARROZ VERDE con pollo. It's green rice with chicken. And it takes about a really large bunch of cilantro, and you blend it up in a blender with some bone broth and salt and pepper and cumin, and it's just so good. Again, I will have this recipe linked in the description box. It's one of the few Peruvian recipes you'll ever get access to that is in recipe form, that you don't have to just watch and learn. I'm going to just salt and pepper my chicken. I've taken the bones off of my chicken thighs and shoved them in a Ziploc bag to put in the freezer, just like I showed you with the chicken soup, because I don't want it to go to waste. Then I'm going to heat up a pot on medium-high heat, and I'm going to just brown the chicken. It doesn't need to be cooked all the way through. That will happen later in the process. And then I'm going to blend up the sauce part that's going to make it green. And then I pull out all the chicken. It takes a couple rounds. And then I'm going to add in some onions, some diced onion, and really get up all of those good bits that are at the bottom of the pot. And then I'm going to add in some fresh garlic. I'll add in the rice needed and the green peas and kind of get them warmed up because the peas are frozen. And once that is all mixed in and starting to cook down, then I will add in the liquid from the blender. But because the cilantro gets kind of stuck to the side, I usually will do as you see here. I will kind of rinse it down so I can get all of that cilantro goodness, and then finish putting the rest of that box of bone broth in and a little more water because I'm doubling my recipe. And then I will stir it and then place that fried or browned chicken right on top and turn up the heat to get it boiling. And then once it's coming to a boil, then you turn it back down and cook the rice for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes is up, then you're going to set a timer for at least another 20-30 minutes and really let it sit so that it can fluff and absorb all of that last minute moisture. And this is how it turns out. It's so good, you guys. But that's not all. Next, I'm going to show you how I make an onion topping that's very traditional to serve this dish with. On this side, it's very traditional to serve this green rice with salsa criolla. It's just an onion salad basically, and it's sliced onion with fresh lime and some salt, and you put it on top, and I'm telling you, it is so good. Give it a try and find this recipe down in the description box. Okay, for the last dinner we're going to cook together for the week, I am making, I guess, another Peruvian recipe. Sorry, guys. And it's super simple. I love this recipe because it allows you to use leftover vegetables or things in your fridge. It gets veggies in your family, lots of good protein. Here I am cutting up some beet leaves that we picked from our garden in the backyard. I think beet leaves are more mild than spinach leaves in my own opinion, but you could use spinach, you could use kale, like a baby kale, and I add in the finely chopped greens into about 20 eggs is what I personally did because I have a large family who loves this dish. And then I'm going to add in some green onion. Another fave in our family is green onion. And then I diced up about 3 tomatoes. I really like tomatoes in this recipe because it kind of gives it a little bit of juiciness. I don't know how else to describe it, guys. Maybe that's not very appetizing, but it's so good. Then I'm going to heat up 2 pans because I want this to go faster. And I just heat up the pans on about medium or so heat. You got to kind of see how your own stove cooks. If it cooks hot, then do a lower temperature. But I just pour like a scoop of it into a hot pan and cook them up. I spread out the veggies so that they're not all clumped together. I serve this over cooked rice. You could do brown rice, you could do white rice. And then I also decided to put some sliced avocado over the top. You don't have to, but this is a very cheap meal and it's really easy to pull together. Here's a little look. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite recipe was, or if you have any questions. But I'd love to see you in my next video. If you'd like, I have a suggested video here where I have my cozy fall decorating for 2025 up on the screen. But until next time, take care. Bye!